Jai Hind, my dear children. So we are going to learn some of the applications of quadratic equations in this video. Dear students, we are going to see some of the application problems from your exercise related to quadratic equations. Okay, so we can start the problems. First problem. In a class test, the sum of Shefali's marks in mathematics and English is 30. Had she got 2 marks more in mathematics and 3 marks less in English, the product of their marks would have been 210. Find her marks in the 2 subjects. You understood, children? Yes, let me explain once more. Here, Shefali is a girl and she has scored marks in mathematics and English. Now what is given? The total marks. The total marks of mathematics and English is 30. Okay, the sum of Shefali's marks. So sum is given. Sum of Shefali's marks in mathematics and English is given 30 marks. The total. Okay. Then another situation is given. If she got 2 marks more in mathematics. So if there is a chance she got 2 plus 2. Okay. 2 marks more in mathematics and 3 marks less in English. Then that marks, if you are multiplying, the product of their marks would have been 210. Okay. So here there are two situations. The first situation is the sum of the marks is 30 and the second situation is if she got 2 marks more in maths and 3 marks less in English, then when we take the product of the 2 marks, the total is 210, the product. Now we need to find her marks in the 2 subjects. So what is her mark in maths? What is her mark in English? We need to find out. Okay, so these 2 subjects we want to find out separately. So that should be our variable. Okay, so we are going to take the mark of each subject as our variable. So let us start the answer. Solution. First we can assume, let the marks secured by Shefali in mathematics. Okay, so in mathematics, let she secured X marks. Understood? So we assumed for mathematics she scored X marks. We don't know what is X. Okay. Now you see the sum of the marks in mathematics and English is 30. So when you add the maths mark and English mark, the total is 30. So now you have assumed maths mark is X. Can you say what is the English mark? Yes, the remaining marks. Correct. Total is 30 means maths we have taken X. Therefore, English marks is the balance. 30 minus X. Okay. So therefore, English marks equal to, the sum is given 30 for the 2 subjects, that minus this maths mark. Okay, understood? Yes. Now by the given data, what is the next data given? By the given data, okay, had she got 2 marks more in mathematics. So mathematics marks we have taken X. So 2 marks more means X plus 2. And 3 marks less in English. English we have taken 30 minus X. This is English mark. So if English she got 3 marks less. So this minus 3. Maths if she got 2 marks more and English she got 3 marks less. Okay, then the product of their marks, that is we want to multiply these two quantities, then that product is equal to 210. Understood? So this is the second situation. If she got 2 marks more in maths and 3 marks less in English, then that product is equal to 210. Okay. Now from this we need to develop our quadratic equation to find the value of x. Okay. Yes. So what is this implies? X plus 2 into, we can combine this 30 and minus 3. So it will be 27 minus x equal to 210. Now you know how to multiply two brackets, so that first multiply x with the two terms, 27x minus x square plus 2 into 27, 54 minus 2x equal to 210. Now combine the x values, minus x square plus 25x plus 54. Take this 210 this side, minus 210 equal to 0. Again combine this 54 and minus 210, minus x square plus 25x minus, when you combine 54 and 210, plus and minus subtract and put the greater sign. So 156 you will get equal to 0. And because you got negative sign in the first term, if you want to remove this, throughout you multiply by minus. So it becomes x square minus 25x plus 156 equal to 0. Okay. So if you do this, it will be convenient for us to do the further steps. So this is the required quadratic equation what we got for the given data. Okay. So in this, you see, in this quadratic equation we studied two methods. By algebraic method, that is splitting the middle term, we can find the solution, or we can use the quadratic formula to find the solution. Okay. So here you see, whenever you want to find the factorization of a given quadratic equation, if you are not getting the numbers for splitting the middle term or anything, if you are feeling difficult, you can use the quadratic formula. Okay. So here we can see whether we can get the two numbers to do in the splitting the middle term method. Okay. So here you see the coefficient of x square is 1, so that we can find directly the roots very easily. Okay. Yes. So this is the quadratic equation what we got. Now you see, this is the constant term, that is the product of two numbers, and the sum of two numbers is minus 25. Okay. So when you are getting some bigger number, we don't know which is the product or which is the what is the two numbers, sometimes we feel difficult. That time you can apply prime factorization method to find the numbers. 156, when you go to prime factorization method, you will get 7 2s are 14, 16, again 2, 3 2s are 6, 9 2s are 18, then it go by 3, 13 3s are 39. Okay, it stopped. Now you see, in this situation, when you combine these three numbers, 2 into 2, 4 into 3, 12, then 13. So 12 is the product of this and 13 is there. Now you see, 12 into 13, definitely the product is 156. Now when you add these two, okay, add these two, the sum is 25. So that is only we want here. So if you want the sum minus 25, we should adjust the sign like this, minus 12 minus 13. So minus 12 and minus 13, the sum is minus 25, and when you multiply these two numbers, the product is 156. Now you learned in earlier class that when the coefficient of x square is equal to 1, we can write the factors directly. without doing the regrouping steps or anything, we can write the factors directly that you learned in the previous class. Okay, so I am going to write like that. You know the two numbers we got, minus 12 and minus 13. So you can write directly like this. Our variable is x, so that x minus 12 is one factor and x minus 13 is another factor, equal to 0. So we can use this step, direct step, to find out the roots of the equation only when the coefficient of x square coming 1. Okay, that time only we can apply this direct method. Okay, so what is the next step? This implies x minus 12 equal to 0 and x minus 13 is equal to 0. And this again implies x equal to 12, x equal to 13. Thus we got two different roots for x. Now what we want to do, we got two answers for x. For this two different answers, we need to find the values of, we have in our question, find the values of two, find the marks of two subjects. Okay, so what is this x actually? X is mathematics marks. So we got two answers. So these two cases we need to consider. So what is the English marks when maths mark is 12, and what is the English mark when maths mark is 13? So the two cases is possible, so that we need to find out for the two cases. Okay, so the next step is, therefore when maths marks equal to this first case 12, English marks, what is the English marks then? English marks is 30 minus x. So 30 minus 12, that is 18. Okay, so first case when maths marks 12, English marks is 18. Now do the second case. When maths marks is 13, the second case, then English marks equal to 30 minus 13, that is equal to 17. Okay, so the two cases you want to consider. Understand? So when maths is equal to 12, English 18, and when maths equal to 13, English 17. So that is her marks in the two subjects. So because we have a quadratic equation, we will have two different solutions, and for those two different solutions we need to find out the required answer. Okay, understood children? This is your second question. The difference of squares of two numbers. Okay, two numbers. So that two numbers, difference of squares, their squares. When you find the squares of the two numbers, their difference is 180. The square of the smaller number is 8 times the larger number. So first situation is the difference of the squares is 180, and the second situation is, if we find the square of the smaller number, that square will be 8 times of the larger number. Okay, so here actually two numbers are there. One number is a smaller number and one number is a larger number. So that is only our two different numbers. Now the squares of the two numbers, if we find and take the difference is 180. And then when you take only the square of the smaller number, that answer will be 8 times of the larger number. So you need to find out the two numbers. What is the smaller number and what is the larger number? Okay? Yes. So come to the solution. First you should assume the variable. So our assumption is, let us take the smaller number. Let the smaller number be x. Okay. And let the larger number So larger number we don't know, that we are taking as another variable y. Now use the condition what is given. The difference of squares of two numbers. So difference of squares means every time we will difference means we will subtract smaller number from the larger number. So you want to write the larger number first, correct? So here difference means the larger number square minus smaller number square, that difference is 180. Okay, so this is given. By the given data, the squares of two numbers, the difference. So y square we wrote first because it is the larger number. Y square minus x square equal to 180. So this is the first situation. Okay, now come to the next. The square of the smaller number. What is the smaller number we have taken? X. So the square also, the square of the smaller number is equal to 8 times the larger number. 8 times means 8 multiplied by larger number is y. Square of the smaller number is equal to 8 times the larger number. Okay. So what is this? X square equal to 8y. This is our second equation. Now using this two, we want to develop the required quadratic equation. Now you see, here we have from the second equation the value of x square. If you put this value of x square in the first equation, see, in the place of x square, if you substitute the value of x square, we can get an equation completely in the variable y. Okay, so we are doing that. Put the value of x square in 1. So this implies y square. So 1 in the place of x square we are putting. So 1 y square minus, what is the value of x square from here? 8y. So in the place of x square you are putting 8y equal to 180. Now we can rearrange this. Y square minus 8y minus 180 equal to 0. Now you see children, this is a quadratic equation in a variable y. Okay. Now you can find out the roots of the equation by any of the method. Now you see it's somewhat easy because this is a quadratic equation. If you consider this term, the product is 180 and sum want to come minus 8. Okay, so we want to find out the two numbers. So if you take 180 means in our, we can take 18 and 10. Okay, 118, 18 and 10 it is possible. So minus 180 and sum is also minus 8, so that if minus 18 and plus 10 are the numbers, then you can easily split the numbers. Understand? So that is the idea. Here the two numbers are minus 18 and plus 10. I hope you understood. Now we are since coefficient of y square is 1 here, we can write the factors directly. So this implies first factor minus 18. So y minus 18 into second one plus 10. Y plus 10 equal to 0. Okay, so here two factors, y minus 18 is equal to 0 and y plus 10 is equal to 0. So we got two answers, y equal to 18 and y equal to minus 10. Now you see children, we got the two answers for y. But here y equal to a negative value, this is not applicable because when you put this y value in this equation, that is x square equal to 8 into y. Understand? We have x square equal to 8y already. So when you take this value of y, that is 8 into x square is equal to 8 into y value, if we take minus 10, then that will be minus 80. This is a negative number, and x square means it is a square number. Okay, a square number cannot be a negative answer. Understood? So we can confirm that this y equal to minus 10 is not possible. Okay, we can neglect this value. This is not possible. Understood? Because if you take this negative value, then x square will come negative. That is meaningless. It is impossible. So that we are taking only the value y equal to 18. Understood? Yes. So next step, thus the value of y is equal to 80. Now using this y, we need to find the value of x. Okay. Now we have what is the value of x square? 8y. So this implies x square is equal to 8 into, put the value of y, 18. What is 8 into 18? You will get 144. So x square is 144. It is a square number. So what is x, children? X is equal to, yes, what is the square root of 144? Yes, 12. 12 into 12. So you want to write plus or minus 12. Okay. So thus we got two values for x. Now we need to consider these two cases and find the corresponding value of y. So therefore when x is equal to, first we are taking the value x equal to 12. Can you say what is y? You see here we have x square is equal to 8y. From this we can find the value of y by transposing 8 to this side, that is x square by 8. Okay, then we will find the value of y. So therefore y is equal to x square. X square means 144 by 8. When you simplify, you will get 18. Understand? Do the calculation. Similarly, when you take the other value of x, minus 12, y will be again x square by 8. That is minus 12 the whole square. Minus 12 the whole square is also 144 by 8. So that is also the same value, 18. Understand? So thus we got when x is equal to 12, y is equal to 18. When x equal to minus 12, y is equal to 18. Okay. So thus the two numbers are we want to find the two numbers. One is a smaller number and one is a larger number. Okay. So we got two pairs. First one is 12 and 18 and minus 12, 18. Okay. So these are the two different answers. See, one is a smaller number, one is a larger number. Here also one is a smaller number, one is a larger number. So these are the two different numbers from this question. Now come to this question. Sum of the areas of two squares is 468 meters square. Okay. So here two squares are there, two shapes. Two squares are there and the area of the square is discussed here. So when you find out the areas of those two square shapes and you add sum, okay, sum of the two areas when you take, it will come 468 meters square. Okay, the unit is meter. If the difference of their perimeters, okay, so if you consider the perimeter of those squares and when you take the difference of them, that will come 24 meter. So from this what you can understand, children, difference of their perimeters. So because there is coming the difference of perimeters, the two squares are of different length, different side length. Okay, they are not same. So when you consider the sum of the areas. It is 468 meter square. That is your first condition. And when you consider the difference of their perimeters, that is 24 meters. Okay. So find the sides of the two squares. So different squares are there. Two different sides are there. And you should keep in your mind, because the difference is told here, you want to keep in mind one is a bigger square and one is a smaller square. Okay, so find the sides of the two squares is told. So you want to take two different sides for each square, but one should be greater and other is the smaller one. In that way you want to choose the variables. Okay, so we can discuss the answer now. Write solution. So first we can write, let the sides of the two squares, be x meter, because the unit is given in meter, and y meter. The two sides we have taken for two different squares, x and y, and here we are assuming x greater than y. Okay, we are assuming the first square, that is the side with x meter is larger and y is the smaller square. Why we have taken like this means we want to find the difference of their perimeters. So anyways, one is large and other is small. Okay, now therefore we have sum of the areas. What is the area of the square? Formula side into side. That means x, if it is the side length, then area is x into x, x square. Similarly, y is the side, then area is y into y, y square. Okay, so who is the larger area? The first one. So we have the sum of the area. So the area of the first square, x square, plus area of the second square, y square, equal to 468. This is the first equation. Understand? Then also given the difference in perimeters. What is the perimeter of the square? 4 into side. Okay, so what is the perimeter of the first square? 4 into x. What is the perimeter of the second square? 4 into y. So the difference, that is minus the difference of their perimeters, is equal to 24. That is also given. Now this one is an equation. We can simplify some more. See here, 4x, 4y, 24. So if you divide this equation throughout by 4, we can simplify, we can reduce it some more. So this implies 4 divided by 4, that is x, minus 4 by 4, that is y, equal to 24 divided by 4 is 6. Understand? So here what we did, we divided throughout the equation by 4. So this is our second equation. So x minus y equal to 6 and x square plus y square equal to 468. Now you see children, if from these two equations, if you find from this equation the value of x, you can put that value in this first one, substitute and find the equation in the other variable. Okay, so what I am doing, 2 implies I am going to find the value of y here, y. So x minus y equal to 6 means you get x equal to minus y. If you take here, it becomes x equal to y plus 6. Or see, if you are finding the value of y here if you are finding, then y equal to x minus 6. So anyways you can find out. Either you can find the value of x or you can find the value of y. And which variable you find out, that one you want to put in the first equation to find the other variable. Okay. So if I am using this one, the value of y if I am using, therefore put y equal to x minus 6 in the first equation. Okay, so that implies x square plus, in the place of y we are using x minus 6. So x minus 6 the whole square equal to 468. Okay, now our equation is completely changed into variable x. Now this x minus 6 the whole square we need to expand using a minus b the whole square identity, so that x square plus, yes, expand this x square minus 2ab, that is minus 12x plus b square 36 equal to 468. X square and x square combined, 2x square minus 12x plus 36, take this here, 468 minus equal to 0. So again 2x square minus 12x plus 36 and minus 468, when you combine you will get minus 432 equal to 0. Now you see here also we can reduce the whole equation by dividing throughout by 2. So what you get, 2 by 2 x square minus 12 by 2 6 x minus 432 divided by 2 is 216 equal to 0. So this is our quadratic equation, x square minus 6x minus 216 is equal to 0. Now you want to find the values of x here, and you see here the product value is minus 216 and the sum value is minus 6. So you know 216 is somewhat a bigger number. So I told you earlier, to find this type of bigger numbers for, we want to do the prime factorization method. So 216 for, if you find the factors, then for 2, 1 2 is 2, 0, 8 2s are 16, then again 2, 5 2s are 10, 4 2s are 8, then you can go for 3, 2 also is correct. Okay, you can write for 3, then 1 3 is 3, 8 3s are 24, again 3 6 3s are 18, 2 3s are 6. Okay, it is over. Now from this you can combine the factors, that is getting the same value for product and sum. So how I am doing, listen, this 2 into 2, 4 into 3, 12. So this one number, and 3 into 3, 9 into 2, 18. Okay, so one number 12, next is 18. You see, when you multiply these two numbers, the product will be definitely 216, and you want the sum value minus 6, so that 18 minus 12 will give you 6, because our product is also negative. Product is a negative number, so one number is negative and the other number is positive, and here because minus want to come, the greater number will have the negative sign and the other number is positive. Now you see the addition is minus 6. Okay, so what are the two numbers? Plus 12 and minus 18. Okay, here also you see the coefficient of x square is 1, so you can write the factors directly. So this implies x, what is the first number? Plus 12, and second number 8 minus 18 is equal to 0. Okay, so this implies x plus 12 equal to 0 first case, and x minus 18 equal to 0 second case, and this implies x equal to minus 12 and x equal to 18. Okay, now here also you see, what is this x actually? This x is the side of a square. Okay, we have assumed x to be the side of a square. So is it possible to have a negative value of x? No, this is not possible, because a side of a square cannot come negative. Okay, so this is not possible. So only which value we want to consider? X equal to 18. Okay, so therefore the side of the larger square. Okay, we got 18 meters. So this is only possible. Now using this value we need to find the side of the other square. Therefore when x is equal to 18, can you say what is the value of y? Y we have taken x minus 6. Okay, so 18 minus 6, that is equal to 12 meters. Understand? So that is the answer. The other answer is not possible. Now you want to write the conclusion. Hence the sides of two squares are, the larger square is 18 meters and the smaller square is 12 meters. Okay, so these are the two sides of the two different squares. Now children, listen the next question, very important question. Yes, two water taps together can fill a tank in 9 3/8 hours. Okay, so there are two taps are there, and that two water taps, when they are together they are filling a tank, they need 9 3/8 hours in total to fill the tank. The tap of larger diameter takes 10 hours less than the smaller one to fill the tank separately. So from this what you can understand, one is a larger tap and the other is a smaller tap. And when larger tap is there, what is the meaning then? The larger tap can fill the tank very fastly, correct? Because more amount of water we will get from the larger tap. So that larger tap can fill more fastly than the smaller tap. Okay, so here it is given the larger tap can fill the tank 10 hours less than the smaller one to fill the tank separately. So here there are actually two situations. The first situation is the two taps are filling the tank together. So when they are filling the tank together, they both take time totally 9 3/8 hours to fill the tank completely. Now if they are allowed to fill the tank separately, then the larger pipe will fill the tank fastly, no? So it takes 10 hours less than the smaller pipe. That is the meaning. Okay, so that are the two different situations. We need to find the time in which each tap can separately fill the tank. So we want to find out how many is the time taken for smaller tap to fill the tank and what is the time required for the larger pipe to fill the tank. So time required for the two different taps we want to find out here. Okay, you understood? So two different taps are together, they are taking a time of 9 3/8 hours, and there is a comparison. The larger pipe is taking 10 hours less than the smaller one to fill the tank. Okay, I hope you understood the question. Okay, now if I am making a diagram, we can see like this. You see here, these are the two different situations what is told in the question. In the first situation, the two pipes, that is one is a larger pipe and one is a small pipe. These two taps are filling a tank together. So when they are filling a tank together, they are taking 9 3/8 hours to fill the tank. Okay, so this is the first situation. Now come to the second situation. The two different pipes are filling the tank separately. So this is the smaller pipe, it is filling the tank separate, and this is the larger pipe. So if this two condition, that is if they are filling the tank separately, then this smaller pipe is taking 10 hours more. That is the meaning. So if you take the larger pipe, the hours, how many time required for taking this larger pipe, if you are assuming as x hours, then the smaller pipe will take 10 hours more. Okay, or if you are taking if you are taking the time taken for smaller pipe is x hours, then larger pipe will be 10 hours less. So anyways you can consider. Okay, as your convenience you can take. If you are assuming the time taken for larger pipe is x, then smaller pipe is 10 hours more. Or if you are taking the smaller pipe time taken is x, then the larger pipe will take 10 hours less. So anyways you can assume your variable. Okay, so these are the two different situations discussed in our problem. So now I think you understand how we are taking the variables. Now we can go to the solution. Okay, let us start our answer, children. I hope you understood the idea of the problem. Yes, we can start the solution. So one larger pipe is there and one smaller pipe is there. So now we are going to take first how many hours. So here it is asked find the time. So we are going to assume the time for larger pipe and smaller pipe. Okay, so that is the starting. So let us write like this. Let the larger pipe fills the tank in x hours. Okay, so the larger pipe is filling the tank in x hours, we have assumed. Therefore the smaller pipe fills the tank in y hours. Okay, I have taken other variable for smaller pipe, that is y hours, and this implies y is equal to, you see, the smaller pipe is taking 10 hours more comparing to the larger pipe that is given here, or you can say larger pipe is taking 10 hours less. So when we have assumed larger pipe fills the tank in x hours, so smaller pipe, that is y hours, is equal to that larger pipe that fills the tank, that is plus 10. Okay, so y hours means how much the smaller pipe is taking, means more than the larger pipe by 10 hours. So that is the one relation we are getting. Okay, the smaller pipe is taking 10 hours more than the larger pipe. So we got the first relation here. Now you see, in x hours, what is the meaning the larger pipe is filling the tank in x hours means, in this x hours the larger pipe fills the tank, that is the whole tank. Understood? So this is our assumption. In x hours the larger pipe is filling the tank completely. So you know the whole tank, we don't know the volume of the tank here. We are not given in the question the volume of the tank. So we are here considering the whole tank, the tank completely. So the whole quantity we are assuming here as 1. Okay, in smaller classes also you have when you studied fraction or like that, you have studied what is the whole quantity. We are taking here in this problem, because the volume is not given, we are taking the whole quantity of the tank as 1, equal to 1. 1 means the full tank. Okay, so what is the meaning here? In x hours the larger pipe fills the tank fully, that is equal to 1. Okay, so this implies, can you say in 1 hour how many it will fill? In 1 hour the larger pipe fills the tank equal to how many? In x hour, if you are taking the whole quantity as 1, then in 1 hour 1 by x of the tank. Correct? Understand? In x hours it is filling the whole quantity. So in 1 hour you divide 1 by x. Okay, if you think about an example, in 2 hours, if you are doing one work, in 2 hours we can complete one work. Can you say in 1 hour how many work we can complete? Yes, that is 1 divided by 2, half work. Okay, so this is the idea I applied here. In 2 hours, if you can complete one work, then in 1 hour, 1 by 2 of the work. Okay, the same idea only here. In X hour, the whole tank is filled. Then in 1 hour, 1 by X of the tank is filled. Okay, understood? So all of you just go through this. Okay, understood? Yes. So this is the important point here. We have taken in X hours, the larger pipe fills the tank fully. So in 1 hour, the larger pipe fills 1 by X of the tank. Understood? Similarly, you are writing for the smaller pipe. So how you can write? Similarly, in 1 hour, the smaller pipe, okay, the smaller pipe fills the tank equal to smaller pipe for, we have assumed how many hours? Y hours. So 1 by Y of the tank. Understand? So 1 hour the larger pipe is filling 1 by X of the tank, and 1 hour the smaller pipe is filling 1 by Y of the tank. The next point. So what is the meaning of this? In 1 hour the larger pipe fills 1 by X. So this is the volume. 1 by X of the tank is filled, and in 1 hour the smaller pipe is filling 1 by Y of the tank. Now you see, in our question it is given these two pipes together can fill a tank in 9 3/8 hours. That is the total time taken by the two pipes together. So here we calculated for 1 hour. Now we need to calculate for this 9 3/8 hours how many volume the two pipes can fill. Okay, so next line you are writing, the two taps can fill the tank together in 9 3/8 hours. That is given. Okay, so next line what you want to write is, therefore in this hours. What is this 9 3/8? 9 3/8 is a mixed fraction. You can convert into improper. 9 into 8, 72 plus 3. That is 75/8 hours. Okay, so in this time the larger pipe can fill volume equal to how many? In 1 hour it can fill 1 by X, means in this 75/8 hours. 1 hour this much means 75/8 hours you want to multiply. That is 75/8 into 1 by X of the tank. Understood? So first you calculated for 1 hour. Now you calculated for the given time. Understand? Similarly, the smaller pipe can fill volume equal to that same time, 75/8 into, what is the smaller pipe filling in 1 hour? 1 by Y of the tank. So 75/8 into 1 by Y of the tank. Okay, so this is the time required for larger pipe to fill the tank, and this is the time required for smaller pipe to fill the tank. Okay, understand? So this is the volume first one, this is the volume second one. Now together they are filling the tank. Okay, so therefore by the given data, we are writing the total volume. These two pipes are together filling the tank. So therefore 75 into 1 75 by 8 into x is 8x. Okay, we are adding 75 into 1 75, 8 into y. So what is the meaning? This is the volume of the water filled by the larger pipe, and this is the volume of the water filled by smaller pipe. So this two volumes together is the equal to 1. What is this one? The whole tank. Okay. Okay, now we found the total volume, that is filled by smaller pipe and larger pipe, equal to 1. Equal to 1 means that together the two pipes are filling the whole tank. That whole quantity we are taking here as 1. Now we need to simplify this. This is the equation actually. Now we need to proceed the steps to get our required quadratic equation. Okay. So here you see 75 by 8. So this you can take as a common number. So this implies 75 by 8 into the remaining quantity is here 1 by x plus 1 by y here equal to 1. Okay. So this is the equation. Now what I am doing is 75 by 8 into 1 by x plus, you see what we have considered y in the beginning, y is equal to x plus 10. So that value I am putting here for y. So that is 1 by x plus 10 equal to 1. So why I did here? Because to convert y into x. Now we can simplify this by taking LCM. Then we will get the quadratic equation in x. Okay. So this is a very important problem. You need to understand very properly. You are taking the larger pipe x hours, so that smaller pipe is 10 hours more. Then we are assuming in x hours how many the whole quantity filled, so that in 1 hour 1 by x of the tank and 1 by y of the tank separately. Understand? And in question it is given 9 3 by 8 hours for both the pipes. So that we calculated for larger pipe how many the volume is filled in 75 by 8 hours, and similarly smaller pipe how many in 75 by 8 hours. So the total volume we are taking equal to 1 and proceeding the steps. Okay. So understand the concept very clearly. Now we can make the quadratic equation. So we got 75 by 8 into 1 by x plus 1 by x plus 10 equal to 1. Now we are going to simplify this equation by taking the LCM. Okay. So this implies 75 by 8 into, here the LCM is x into x plus 10. So first numerator is multiplied by x plus 10 and the second numerator by x. So plus x equal to 1. This implies 75 by 8 into, what is x plus x? 2x plus 10 by x into x plus 10 equal to 1. Now you see 75 by 8 into, okay. So here multiplication, take this term to the RHS. So it becomes the reciprocal. So this implies 2x plus 10 by, yes, you can write x square plus 10x here equal to, this goes there, 8 by 75. Understood? Now what we are doing, here is a fraction, here is also a fraction, you can cross multiply. So this implies 8 into, okay, this side 8 into this term, x square plus 10x is equal to this one, 75 into 2x plus 10. Okay, all this we learned when you studied linear equations, all that we studied this, how to simplify the equations. Now expand the bracket, 8x square plus 80x equal to 75 into 2, 150x plus 75 into 10, 750. Now take all this to one side. 8x square plus 80x minus 150x minus 750 equal to 0. Now you can combine this 80 and minus 150, that is 8x square minus here 70x minus 750 equal to 0. Now you see this equation can be reduced some more by dividing throughout by 2. Okay, dividing throughout by 2, we can make it some more simple. So 8 divided by 2, 4, 4x square minus 70 divided by 2, 35x minus 750 divided by 2 is 375 equal to 0. Okay, now it came to some more simplified manner. So this is our quadratic equation where the coefficients ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0 of the form. And you see, now we are going to find the roots of this equation, and here also we are using the product value and sum value, that is splitting the middle term method. But here you see the coefficient of x square is 4. It is not equal to 1. It is 4. So that the product value is this 4 multiplied by 375. What is 375 into 4? Yes, it is 1500. Okay, so this is the product value 1500 and the sum value is minus 35. And I told you for larger numbers you can apply the prime factorization method to find out the required numbers. Okay, so if you are finding the prime factorization of 1500, okay, you can go to 5, 3 5s are 15, 0, again 5, 6 5s are 30, 5, 2 5s are 10, then 2 6 2s are 12, 3 2s are 6. Okay, so we got the prime factorization like this. Here if you are combining as you want the product value 1500 and sum value minus 35. Okay, so if I am taking this numbers, 3 into 2 6, 6 into 2 12, into 5 60. Okay, so this much factors will give you 60 and this is 25. Okay, so what is 60 and 25 multiplied? 60 and 25 multiplied, we will get 1500. And when you add this two, okay, that is here your product value is minus, so that one number is negative and another is positive. But here in the sum we want negative value, so the bigger number is having minus sign and smaller number plus sign. Okay, so these are the two required numbers. Understood? Minus 60 and plus 25. But since x square is having here a coefficient, we need to write the required steps to find out the value of x. Okay, so first using this we can split the middle term of this equation. So this implies 4x square. First you can take this minus, we are splitting this, minus 35x. Okay, so minus 60x plus 25x minus 375 equal to 0. Okay, so this implies we can group the terms, that is 4x square minus 60x first group plus 25x minus 375 equal to 0. So this all you learned in the factorization method also. Okay, now we are going to take the common factor. Okay, 4x square minus 60x from we can take which term? 4x we can take. So the balance is x minus what is 60 divided by 4? 15. 4 into 15 is 60. So x minus 15. Okay, then plus in the second bracket here 25x minus 375. So from this 25 is common. Okay. So 25 if you take common, the balance is again x minus 15 equal to 0. When you take the common terms, this first and second bracket want to come similar. So that your next step is x minus 15 is common and the balance is here 4x, here plus 25 equal to 0. Understood? So this implies x minus 15 equal to 0, one part, and 4x plus 25 equal to 0. Okay, so here x is equal to 15 and here 4x equal to minus 25, that is x equal to minus 25 by 4. So we got two answers for x now. We got here one value for x is 15 and one value is minus 25 by 4. What is our x, children? What we have taken x here, the x is hours. Okay, the x what we have taken is the time taken, hours, and it is impossible that the time can come negative. Okay, so this is impossible, so that we are only considering this value x equal to 15. So therefore x is equal to 15 is the possibility. Now for this value of x, we need to find the value of y. Okay, so what is the relation between x and y, children? When x hours is the time for the larger pipe, we have taken y for smaller pipe, that will take 10 hours more, so that y is equal to x plus 10. Okay, so that we are using here. Therefore when x is equal to 15, y is equal to x plus 10, that is 15 plus 10, that is 25. So when x is equal to 15, y is equal to 25. What is the meaning? X is the time required for larger pipe. So when larger pipe is taking 15 hours, smaller pipe is taking 10 hours more, that is 25 hours. So that is the conclusion. So we can conclude the problem. Hence the larger pipe takes 15 hours. Okay, 15 hours, and smaller pipe takes 25 hours to fill the tank separately. Okay, so that is our required answer. Okay, so hope all of you understood all these problems. So this problem is somewhat to think and answer. So all of you understand the concept very well and do the calculation. Complete the homework also. These are your homework, children. Complete all the 4 problems correctly. So thank you, children. Meet you in the next class.